Nairobi's afternoon heat lingers, but at the edge of the city, we trade traffic for tickets. We enter Nairobi National Park, a world where nature breathes besides the skyline. Just a gate away from the city buzz, and suddenly we are in the wild. Nairobi National Park is located in the heart of Nairobi, within the borderlines of the Central Business District, just 9 to 10 kilometers from the CBD and approximately 15 to 16 kilometers from the airport, making it very accessible for tourists and locals as well. You can choose to do a self drive safari or go on a guided safari. And just like that, we are welcomed by the warthogs. To access the park, you pay through eCitizen and select the KWS option, select the park and the gate that you're going to access the park through. Just follow the prompts as they appear. The charges will be 480 shillings for Kenyan citizens. And if you're doing a self drive, you'll pay 300 shillings. And this receipt is what you're going to show the KWS rangers at the gate. I would highly recommend you pay well in advance or just as you're approaching the park or the gate to just make your process seamless. Let's start our safari. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Look at this guy. He had just looted a nearby dustbin. This was such a warm welcome into the park. Just a few seconds into it, and the park is beautiful. Look at the lushness, the trees. It was just majestic. The air is alive with birds, flashes of color, feathers in flight, and we are welcomed by this helmeted guinea fowl. There are so many, and throughout my safari, I came across countless of these birds. And we slow down, and the beauty that demands the stillness. The beauty about the safari is that it's a really patient, no rush type of activity. And whenever you spot an animal like here, we spotted this tortoise that was trying to be very elusive and sneak back into the thicket. But we just paused, you switch off your engines, and the stillness comes back. It then just wanders. It's no longer afraid. You just immerse yourself in the moment. A few meters from the main gate, we come across the Ivory Burning Site. I stopped at this Ivory Burning Site Monument, a powerful, solemn place. Here, thousands of tusks were set aflame in protest, a promise that ivory belongs only on elephants and rhinos. The ashes may be gone, but the message burns on. Wildlife is not for trade, it's for wonder. And as stewards, it's our responsibility to protect and not harm. The first president to ban the tusks was President Daniel Arap Moi, followed by Uhuru Kenyatta. However, poaching still continues, and countless of elephants and rhinos have been injured, and lives have been lost. This place was such an emotional place. You could actually feel the sadness in the air, and I was just overwhelmed, to be honest. To imagine as human beings, we can really destroy nature with our own hands. It was also a reminder to support the initiatives that have been put in place to protect this endangered species. After our time at the Ivory Burning Site, we proceeded with our safari. Let me tell you, the Nairobi's skyline overlooking the wild savannah is such a view. The camera does not do justice to it. The magic is right here. Our first stop was this Hyena Dam or Hyena Water Point. I honestly don't know if there are hyenas over here, but I do know there are lots of hippos and crocs in these still waters, and the birdlife is such an amazing thing. I stopped here just to immerse at the wonder and the peace that this place offers. I could honestly spend countless of hours here. It's so pretty, it's so peaceful, and it's so magical. And the best part, the birds, there's such a variety of bird species, and you could actually enjoy yourself. Now, this is not something you're supposed to do. I stepped out before I realized, just because this place was so pretty, and the magic continued. I went around the water point, and at the turn, I just saw a crocodile basking in the sun, totally unbothered with our presence and just enjoying the midday sun as the birds were just hovering around it. It was such a magical presence. And as I was waiting for some action from the crocs, I noticed that the water pond had a lot of hippos. I watched and waited for some action. No sooner was I preparing to leave than I saw a little hippo coming out of the water. It just hinted. The more I sat here, the more I realized the danger this still water holds. It houses a lot of hippos, so whenever you see still water points at Nairobi National Park, be very cautious as they are homes to our reptiles and they are home to hippos and crocodiles. Just across the water point, there's a huge savannah area, and look what I spotted, a herd of buffaloes. I was really happy because sometimes you might go here and not spot the buffaloes, yet they are quite a number. They were just herding, minding their own business, and I was actually in awe. Fun fact, do you know that whenever you spot a single buffalo, it's more risky than one that is in a herd? Yep, just thought you should know that. The antelopes, the gazelles, the impala, it was just beautiful to watch them. And there are so many, especially at the impala point. With every turn came a new surprise, and my favorite, the Maasai giraffe. And look at that, I finally saw an ostrich. Tell me why every time I see an ostrich, I always remember the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy. I don't know why, but I'll forever associate ostriches to that movie. The standard gauge railway, commonly referred to as the SGR, cuts across the Nairobi National Park. It was such a sight to see how it cuts across the park, and a quick and bold reminder of what it means to integrate with nature and sustainable development. It's also good to mention that it has also been a bond of contention between environmentalists, conservationists, and the government. And just like the mountains, always come prepared and remember to always help those ones in need whenever you are in the outdoors or in the wild. And I always go prepared. I always have an extra set of everything and a toolbox. And I was very happy to help this team, which was stuck in the middle of the park. And lucky for them, the KWS rangers were inside so they could actually leave their vehicles and sort themselves out. Shortly after that, I continued with my safari and I came to this water point. And the highlight was to see this white faced whistling duck family. I honestly just fell in love right here. It was very gracious, very beautiful. Just look at that. Then came the gazelles. I saw all sorts of gazelle family, from the Grant gazelles to the Thompson's gazelle and some antelopes. The only thing I did not see was the waterbuck, which is still found in this park as well. There's so many species of gazelles and antelopes here. thick, steady, and unmistakable. The rhinos, not one, but around four, slow stepping across the open plain, like they have all the time in the world. Their armor glints in the sun, layers of earth and time and survival. There's something that was very humbling about watching these rhinos. And to be honest, I was just happy to get the opportunity to get to see them in the park. Sometimes a rare sighting, but it was such a humbling experience to see such a powerful animal, but at the same time, a very endangered species. I also decided to visit some of the picnic sites within the park. I didn't know what to expect, but I was so impressed with how well maintained the area is. The sitting places, benches, if you want to sit on the grass, it's very manicured. There are washrooms. If you want to cook, there's honestly everything. And I was so happy to see that guys can actually come here and just have the time of their life. From a distance, I could tell there was something on the road, so we slowed down. On a closer look, we saw these little cubs tucked into the grass. They tumbled and nuzzled, curious, clumsy, yet very fearless. The lioness, which is their mama, had gone to hunt. It was sighted at a very different part of the park. So these little guys were just here waiting for their mama to come back. We really waited and waited and waited to see if the lioness would come back, but it didn't. And the lion cubs were not even phased by our presence, but it's good practice to always switch off your engine because it will really disturb them and you might ward them off. And we really do not intend to disrupt their normal life. Just look at that, the innocence, the fearlessness, the awareness that one day it will become the king of the jungle. And just like that, the sun begins its descent, stretching long shadows across the golden plains. We follow it, we chase it through the grasslands that glow like fire, past silhouettes of giraffes, towards the sky, blooming in peach and flame. The chase I live for, not to outrun the sun, but to meet it at the edge of goodbye. And to be honest, chasing the sun setting across the wild savannah with the shadow of Nairobi's skyline and the wild nature. It's just something to live for and a healing experience at the same time. and graced by the ostriches, strutting like runway models, heads held high, eyes sharp, feathers whispering in the wind, and the glow given by the golden hour. It was such a beautiful scene. On my way back, the pride of lions, let's say cubs, were still here waiting for their mama. I still stayed with them for a while, just soaking in the stillness and the fierceness that they give. And it was so beautiful. Just look at that sun setting. There are days that you'll go to Nairobi National Park and you'll be able to see everything from the lions, the cheetah, or is it the leopard? I think it's the black leopard. You'll see the four big five that are available or are found in Nairobi National Park, among other wildlife. And some days you'll need to keep going back until you get to see everything. Now, on my end, I saw most of them, but I still have like two or three that I'm yet to see and experience. That means that I'll be going back again and again and again as much as I can. It doesn't get old. Every drive is very different. And just look at this. I came across the black jackal. And to be honest, I almost panicked because it started running towards my side. And because I know it's very agile, I thought it would jump over my window. So I I panicked a bit. And this was my experience. The best times for a game drive is 6 a.m., very early in the morning when the weather is still very cool. So that means I'll be going back for that and still experience a game drive, a night game drive. To sum up my experience, knowing I'll be going back again and again, I came to just watch the sun setting over Nagalomon Dam. This is also one of the water points within the park. There's birdlife, there's hippos over here, and the sun setting over it is just beautiful. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you'd like to visit, I'll try and put the details on the description box as much as I can. But if you have any questions, I'll definitely answer them in the comment section. And just to note, KWS offers game drives over the weekend and over public holidays at, I think it's 1,000 bob or 2,000 shillings, which is very affordable. So be on the lookout and go experience. And this was a self game drive, and I loved every bit of it. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!